Look at what the cat dragged in.
Disastrous, despicable.
More batter on it than a Scottish Mars bar.
So if they rock up all guns blazing, it was Cory who did it.
I'm going to start by scaring Jordan.
How to tidy up the van. Artisan Angle Drilling Company, experts.
I had Elon Musk over for dinner last night and I left early.
Hello guys, lovely to see you all back. We're here today out near Birmingham. Oh my goodness, this is getting crazy now. We're no longer Cambridge Electricians, clearly, but it is lovely and we're working for one of our viewers, which is awesome. We always love working for you and meeting you all. Bit of an interesting one today. I'll tell you why it's interesting. We are fixing DIY, except it's new DIY. Our customer called us up and said, basically, I've got a Tesla charge point, slap it, that we want installing. However, he's also said, I need a consumer unit replacement. Come around here. All the picture we saw was that consumer unit. So we're like, oh, nice. You know, just a little 4-way wireless consumer unit, piece of cake, no problem. We'll smash that out in a day, you know, consumer unit change, EICR, car charger, no problem at all. However, naughty, he's rewired the house and left all the legs for us. So we've actually got to test all the new circuits and fit them into the consumer unit before we decide whether or not we want to liven it up or not. Usually that is bad practice, guys. If you are going to get your house rewired, you need the whole thing done by electricians. However, in this circumstance, the guy has got a very good electrical background and he's clearly a lot more competent, to be fair, than a lot of electricians that we come across. So I'm not really too fussed. Also, he is a lovely guy because we've just spent the morning chatting to him. And not good. He's left us Pringles, which, to be fair, I can take him or leave him, really. Love Pringles. I'm hoping this is the only chilling discovery we make this episode. And all of that. I mean, look at all this goodness. This is awesome. What an absolute total legend. I love Baby Bells. Well, I love all of it. I just like food because I'm a giant fatty. So basically, he's done a lot of it and he's done a really nice job, in fairness to him, on what he's done. Upstairs is very much still a building site. Like, there's still loads to do out there in the conservatory. I'll show you. Out here, you can see, obviously, he's not anywhere near finishing. I've talked to him about making sure you get the zones correct, but this is all the roofs coming off in this conservatory and they're building a proper roof. So I think the state of play for today is we're not going to get everything finished. We're going to get the new consumer unit fitted. We're going to get the car charger fitted, but we probably won't be able to liven most of it up. Probably have to lock it off or leave it in a way that he can basically safely energize it when he wants. I'll dead test what I can, but a lot of it we can't access the end of lines. Like on the downlights, they've not been cut out yet and we're not here to cut them out. So if we can't find the end of line, we can't really do a proper R1 plus R2 on any of it. And also, I don't really like testing things that are going to change, other than maybe insulation resistance and things to make sure there's no screws or anything in the way. So we've got a lot of testing to do to make sure it's all safe. I'm going to get the board fitted, I'm going to get some trunking down the wall, and then the car charger fitted. This is an old Tesla car charger. He's had it in his garage for quite some time. So you know what that means. It means we need to fit our Chint Special Viridian EV unit, basically the pen fault protection device, if you remember that from previous episodes. I think he's going to try and put a cupboard there if we leave enough space. So I want to find a way to neatly get our new consumer unit on, maybe with a piece of trunking dressed down to this device, and then drill out the back of this device round here. Find a way to get that neatly across and over to here somewhere for the charger. But it's nice because he's clearly got a good knowledge of regs as well. Even things like this, it's a spur, but he's put a few spur on it, and there's all these little things that make me fairly confident that I don't think we'll have any issues. Ordinarily, I do take protest at someone doing DIY, but in this situation, it's cool. Jordan's coming to join us in a bit as well. He's just on a load of meetings today, but he's parked up over there. Go on, get a nice little shot of Jordan. Oh, look at that, there's a Model X in the background as well. You've got two beautiful Teslas. So let's go smash some Pringles and get to work, because I've got a snowboarding lesson at 5 o'clock on the way home, so I don't really want to be late for that. Hope you enjoy. Once you pop, you can't stop. Well, look at what the cat dragged in. We've got ourselves a Jordan. We've got ourselves a bus.
I'm going to be the awkward one standing here like this while Cory does the introduction now.
The key is to just stare at your shoes and not bend a single joint. Stand like that, don't bend a limb, and just look at your Florent.
Yeah. Good morning everyone. I'm happy because I'm here working. I'm doing actual work. I'm not in the office today. Cory is my boss today and I'm just following his instructions, which is mostly about making coffee, as you can see. Interesting one, this project. DIY disaster or not? DIY or DIY not? We often slate DIYs in the videos because we come across some really shocking electrics that are done by, we assume, DIYers, but actually sometimes they're just done by electricians who just don't care about what they do. I'm going to get killed for this in the comments, but a DIYer who really cares and does research and actually is really conscientious is sometimes capable to do a better job of actual basic electrics than a qualified electrician who doesn't care. And I'll give you a classic example of that right here. So the customer has wired up this house. Look at how neat he's done everything. I mean, look at how he's cut the boxes out. The customer's done his own plasterboarding here. I've never seen a plasterboarder or a plasterer cut boxes in as neat as that. And the customer shared a little tip with us, which I just thought was genius. Put some pencil lead on the edges of the box. So you just like scrape a pencil around the edge of the box, then push the plasterboard up against the boxes, and then it marks the exact lines of the boxes on the back of the plasterboard. Then you just cut them out and it fits perfectly. Absolute genius. It just shows that somebody who cares and has attention to detail, even if they're not necessarily qualified, can do a good job. However, we're not encouraging people to rewire their own houses because it's not allowed and it's naughty.
But if you get us to fix it and you got a fridge full of fruit and Pringles, I'm not going to knock you.
I suppose really in this kind of situation, it's like us getting a really good labourer to do the basic install for us. And then we come in, we check it all over. And if we're happy with it, and only if we're happy with it, and if it tests out okay, then maybe we will sign off on it.
But in a way, it's like an EICR rather than an EIC. It's like
yeah, it's an EICR. I mean, we can't certify somebody else's work, and NIC, EIC rules are that third-party certification is not allowed. We have to either take whole responsibility for the job, or we do an EICR and say this is the condition. We get the customer to show that EICR to the building regulations people, the council, and they can come out, do an inspection and then sign off on the building regs part. We won't be able to sign off on it as such, but we can test it, see if it's safe, and offer a condition report at least.
Our one complaint is this cooker cable. It's so short. I'm gonna have to put the board higher. I was gonna put the board there, a bit more accessible, because also I imagine his cupboard height isn't gonna be, he's gonna fit a cupboard here, but I don't imagine he wants the cupboard to go to the ceiling, but some of these have been cut really short. I'm gonna have to put it a bit higher, but they're not so high that, no, I still wanna be able to get my tails through. What a nuisance. He was doing so well.
Don't cut your cables too short, kids. So I'm just changing my Stanley blade, and I thought I'd share this tip with you. This is an old Stanley blade. What do you do to dispose of these safely? This is my little tip of the day. Get some insulation tape and just tape it up. Just tape around it like that, so that if you throw it in the bin or whatever, at least nobody's going to stick their hand in there and get cut. You're probably supposed to dispose of these in a special sharps container or something like that, but if you don't have one, then just tape it up and at least nobody's going to cut themselves on it. Tip of the day. Right, so Cory's pulled the main, it was Cory who did this, by the way, you know. Cory's pulled the main fuse and we've got these insulating pieces to make it safe, right? And the reason we've done that is there's no other way to safely isolate. We've got to do that, there's no main isolator, so we have to pull the main fuse. But it's got a smart meter here, and somebody told me the other day, and let me know in the comments if this has happened to you, that they pulled the main fuse on a smart meter install, and then the DNO rocked up after about half an hour because they could tell on their system it like raises a flag or an alarm or something, like there's a power cut. And then they came to check out what was going on and they got a bit of a slap on the wrist for pulling the main fuse. So let me know if that's ever happened to you, but we don't really have a choice here because that's the only way to safely isolate, and we need to upgrade these tails to 25mm, so we're going to try and pull in some new tails. So if they rock up with like all guns blazing and stuff, it was Cory who did it again.
I'm happy. I'm quite interested to chat to them about it. They need to start fitting more isolators is what they need to do.
They'll probably rock up and they'll be like, oh, I've seen your videos.
You're an idiot. Thumbnail material.
Right. So let's more This is a 6mm main earth, which is not ideal for the whole installation, but I mean, it's quite a short run. It goes to the consumer unit at the moment. We're pulling in new tails, so we're gonna put a new 16mm earth in, but rather than having to take this all apart, which I don't want to do, I'm not that desperate to kill myself, I think what I'll do is just put a 4-way earth block here, main earthing terminal, and then we'll connect the 6mm into that. Then if the DNO ever comes back to upgrade these to 25mm or whatever, and when they upgrade the main fuse, which they will be coming out to do at some point soon anyway, then they can just upgrade this small bit of earth into a 16mm instead. You're on the live, right? Yep.
Yeah. You good?
We're looking good so far. Yeah. There we go. Yes. That is rare that happens.
I've got loads here.
Fantastichnia! So that will go, the tails will go into there. Yeah, that's enough, I think.
Sweet. Do you know why this would be terrifying if they turn up in their van?
Why?
Not only are they a metering company, they're going to be brummy.
Yeah.
Oh goodness, they'll smash both our faces in, literally.
Tool of the day, Nipex step cuts. Amazing bit of kit this. Look how easily it cuts through tails like butter. It's a dream. And it cuts them completely flat as well. It doesn't like bend them or anything.
Compare it to them, see what you think.
Oh.
Klein ones.
Okay. Let's compare. Oh, it's not really. You have to really like get it out.
Got big hands.
Yeah, it's just as good, to be honest. Those are just as good as these in terms of the smoothness of cutting. I would say that these are slightly easier and that they're designed for larger cables. It's pretty much the same.
Plan today, I'm going to start by scaring Jordan that the metering company are coming. I'm definitely going to prank him with that. I just want it to look really nice, but I'm kind of tied to a few things. The length of the cable in a few places is quite short, but I'm tempted just to extend it and have this where it makes the most sense, rather than have the consumer unit in an inconvenient place just because of 1 or 2 circuits. So I think what I'll do is use that knockout there, bring them in. Actually, no, that doesn't really make much sense either, does it? Maybe I should just drill out the back. Sort of planning it as I go, to be honest. I could go bottom entry there. That just looks a bit too high. No one's gonna be able to even reach that. You know, I think that is as high as I want to go. We're just gonna drill a hole. I'm gonna chase that wall across. I just need to be careful as well that I can still get fixings. I'm gonna drill a hole there, put like a 40mm bush and lock ring, and then bring the cables out and in. And then all you're gonna see is just them entering the board. I just need to crack on.
What should be the punishment for Cory's disastrous, despicable use of the van?
You don't want to...
It is, like, when Cory worked with me for a while, it was a little bit messy, and Cory was like, oh, I like to keep my van absolutely pristine and everything has to be super organised. And since he's taken over the van, I think there's only been like 2 days when I've actually seen it
that's
looking
not
really
true.
tidy.
That's not true. No. That's not true. You can't look in there. There's things that will scar children for life. There's a dead animal in there somewhere. All right, let me tell you a story, okay? That job in Northampton, that was the last job I did. Oh no, it wasn't. I've had one since then.
2.
Literally.
3, actually.
Okay. All right. Stickler for detail over here.
It was
I've had 3 jobs since
over
then.
a week ago.
Do you know what happened? Was I had my metal fixings box, this open. Poor old Johnny No Neck didn't realise it was open. I think he just chucked something in there and it went flipped and the bits went absolutely everywhere. And I was so demoralised. I was like, I'm going to wait for Ruben to come back and I'm going to get him to organise it. Yeah, I've got no excuse. I'm a messy pup. What can I say? I've learned from the best.
So basically you're saying I'm a bad influence on you.
Yeah.
Before you worked for us, you were super organised.
I was.
And now it's all fallen to
What was
pieces.
my caddy like? Did you ever see my caddy messy?
Yeah, but you didn't actually do any work before. That's why
true.
you were...
That is true. I very rarely had to get tools out the van.
See, we do hard graft here, you know, we do long days and stuff. We don't finish at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon and go home and drink a frappuccino.
In fairness as well, I've got a ton of stuff I need to take back to the unit. The core drill set, about 1 million chargers.
Talking about the unit, let us know guys if you want to see a little sneaky view inside the unit. We've got this work unit now. It's not really a unit, it's more of a storage container kind of thing, but if you'd like to see what's inside there, let us know in the comments. We'll do a video about it.
Coffee machine in there is amazing. Like you've never seen.
What? I mustn't have been there recently enough because I definitely don't remember there being
we've
a coffee
got to
machine.
make Nick think that our unit's better than him.
We've got like 10 iMacs in there, and we've got like a proper studio set up and everything.
So I'm going to spare 5 minutes to talk about a subject that's close to my heart, cutting oil. Seriously, once you start using it, you'll never go back. It just prolongs the life of your bits so much. Pretty good stuff. This pen is awesome. Not sponsored by Milwaukee or whatever. Sharpies, get in the bin. I'm not going to throw it in the bin because it's quite expensive. But imagine I had loads of money and just threw that in the bin right there. They're called the Milwaukee Inksol. For a start, you're going to get at least 4 times more babes with this pen than a Sharpie. That's actually science. They've done studies on it. It's a fact. Like, I've actually done market research and it's true. Like, the general look, it's like, what does that scream? That screams, yeah, you know, I rewired my nan's shed. I'm sort of an electrician. This one is like, I had Elon Musk over for dinner last night and I left early because I was busy. Do you know what I mean?
You left your own house early?
Yeah, I left him there because obviously I've got loads of houses when you got a sexy pen like that. But yeah, I'm not trying to sell it, but it's definitely tool of the day. It is just a better pen. Like the actual tip, okay, fair enough, this is a bit newer, but it's just way stronger and way more hard wearing. And I find you use this on a brick once, it's gone. Or a freshly plastered wall or whatever, that just keeps asking for more. This is the SAS of pens. This is like the rich tea in the pen kingdom. Don't get me wrong, it will get you from A to B. It's great, I've used them all my life. That is the chocolate covered hobnob of the pen world. Link in the description. For our Australian viewers, I'm not going to give you a biscuit comparison because hobnobs are just the best and that's the end of it. And Americans, same story, their biscuits are rubbish compared to hobnobs. They've not got a chance. I'm sorry, I love you Americans, I love all of you, but your biscuits suck. So the plan is, Jordan's not here at the minute, I can talk freely. I'm going to get him, I'm going to tell him, oh he's coming. I'm going to tell him that the D&O are really annoyed, so watch this space.
So we had a slight change of plan here for this rather than doing it in conduit because the customer said that he's going to actually box all this in and he doesn't really want conduit going across. So we're going to just clip it down and then that'll all be hidden in the boxing. And then going to clip it along low level with the cable for the charge point and then it will look pretty invisible hopefully. So it's a bit easier anyway, so I'm happy. By the way, I forgot to mention today's video sponsor, which is Tradify. If you've not heard of them, where have you been? You've not been watching our channel long enough. They are one of our favourite sponsors because they created a software platform that we use to manage and organise our business. From dealing with inquiries to scheduling jobs, creating invoices and quotes that look really great. Customers can reply and accept your quotes directly through the system. It's super easy and it just makes life more organised. So head to the link in the description where you can get 50% off Tradify for your first 3 months. And also head over to the Tradify podcast because I was recently interviewed on there. So that episode will be coming up soon and you might find it interesting to hear a little bit more about my story of how I came into the industry.
I have got about 26,000 fixings in there because it's just dot and dab. And I just couldn't get a raw plug to stay tight. And I thought, well, I could like take it all off, do it all again, or I could just drill a few more holes until I find one that's really, really solid. And now I've got a few solid ones, like to hang off it. I just always think, what if the customer that moves in here is a climber or something and he wants to practice doing pull-ups, like door ledge pull-ups off of it. You need to know that in that situation, in that eventuality, we've got him covered. You know, Artisan have got him. Like, we've got a very adventurous client base, you know.
This is a brand new second generation Tesla wall connector. It's the old style one, not the new style one, but it does the same thing. It's just not quite as safe, so we've got to install extra protective gear in here for it. It's got the really big, heavy, chunky cable as well. Ooh, oh, that is nice. Look at this. This is not the usual bog standard one. This is the signature edition. So it's got Elon Musk signature on the front. That is beautiful. I love the black colour as well. I think these must be quite rare, so the customer's probably had this stashed away for a little while and he's finally decided to get it out, but I love it. little bonding connection. Left a little bit of swoop so that there's a bit of play for future if needed. I've done one of those crimps on it so that it's a nice solid connection with this, which is a great little tool to have. Tesla charger is in. Cable's clipped along. I've just done it really low level, so it's kind of like neat and discreet, and he can box around and do whatever he wants to do. Just got to wait now for Cory really, because he's so slow. He's getting the boards up, but it's taking a while, so I don't know what I'm going to do now. I might just chill out for a bit. Maybe just tidy up the van for Cory. That would be nice of me, wouldn't it?
No, I don't eat that rubbish. My body's a temple. I just want to eat Pringles, not on camera. No. Oh yeah, that's a good bit of Pringle right there. Nearly done. Nice. Yep, the electrics are good there. There.
Okay, let me just...
Yeah?
A little bit, just gently. Perfect. Artisan Angle Drilling Company, experts.
Oh yeah.
Slightly disappointing because it's not a complete bullseye. It's close enough. What do you reckon? I think that'll do. Perfect.
Nice! We need Johnny.
Yeah.
Nice.
I know it seems crazy that I'm doing finishing touches when I'm not doing the board yet. It could be seen as procrastination. You're probably right, but also I don't like doing jobs when there's not finishing touches done, because they distract me and I'm like, oh, what if I can't make that look nice? What if that still looks a bit rubbish at the end? Whereas if I just finish the little bits as I'm working on them, like for example here, doing this little bit of caulking work, make it look super pretty, then I know that like what I'm doing is going to look sweet at the end. It's going to look mega sweet. Our board with the 1000 fixings is on. We've got our first circuit in, so we've got our little Viridian device in, angle drilled out, it's all filled up with mortar. I like using a bush and lock ring where I can when I come in. Usually I'd have it the other way round, but the reason I want the bush and lock ring is because when I fire seal it, I've got something to seal against, so I can go up to those edges and it will look nice and neat. The next step now is start to get all these circuits down and in and plan them all, plan what's going where. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to get Jordan testing it. And sorry, I'm faffing. I'm faffing in my conversation. I think I need a coffee or something. Thank goodness for jump cuts.
So I've got the cover on this and just, tidying it up as I like to do with a microfiber cloth. But a little bit of a problem here with the quality of this cover is that I literally rubbed it with a microfiber cloth and already some of the paint has started to come off here, and there was a chip on it already when I opened it up, and it feels like it's just been sort of lightly spray painted or something. It's a bit weird, a bit rubbish quality cover unfortunately, so I don't think it's going to last very long looking nice, but it looks nice now for the moment. But as soon as you scratch it with the cable as you're unwinding it or something, it's just going to get trashed. It almost needs to be a museum piece really. So Elon, your signature's not going to last very long. It's going to get rubbed off quite quick.
As you can see, my nice shiny Klein tools, in my opinion, they are the most solid screwdrivers. Like, we'll leave the link for them in the description below. But even the Klein screwdrivers can't survive me and my brutish ways. It's got more batter on it than a Scottish Mars bar. Absolutely smashed to pieces. All right, what accent are we going for? I think Northern. I've already used Northern on a prank call with him before. When I did my You're right, pal. Basically, calling from Northern Power Grid. No, that's not Northern Power Grid here. Who are we? We're in Birmingham. Brummy. What's Brummy? What does Brummy sound like? He always tries to copy me. So annoying. Whatever outfit I get, if I get a nice shirt, he gets a nice shirt. I get a black coat with white Artisan Electrics written on the back. He has to get a black coat with Artisan Electrics on the back. I start using Klein screwdrivers. He starts using Klein screwdrivers. It's embarrassing. Next thing you know, probably start wearing yellow ear defenders or something as well. That's right.
I'm literally just cleaning up after Cory's mess after he tipped this one out, right? He tipped that one out in the back of the van. So I was like, I'm going to clean up for him. Look what I've just done. I've taken this cable out. The lid was up. No. It's flopped over and everything has gone out.
Not many people know this, but Jordan is actually Macaulay Culkin. He actually was in Home Alone before he was an electrician, but he moved to England. You know the scene with Kevin in the office, Kevin with his chili, where it's like swimming around.
How to tidy up the van in the quickest and most efficient way. Voila! Cory, I'm going to dock your pay, the price it costs Kim and Aggie and Marie Kondo to come out and sort the van for you.
Oh mate, I'll give you my whole pay to meet Marie Kondo. She's my idol.
This would make a great episode. Let's just set the van on fire. That would be much better than just keeping the van tidy.
I'm embarrassed. It's horrible. I hate the messy van, but I've never seen Jordan so witty. Make sure you don't mess it up though, like I know where things are.
Well, this pigsty of a van is getting better. I've calmed down a bit now. We're getting through it now, so feels quite good actually, organising and tidying up. I could be like the next Marie Kondo actually. I could be a professional organiser. To be honest, we need new racking. Ideally, it would be nice to have everything, have more compartments and more spaces and just have everything properly organised. So this is the electrical working relationship equivalent of putting the toilet seat down.
Yeah, and I appreciate it.
Well, I'm glad you appreciate it. I mean,
I
there
do.
was two options. I was thinking carrot or stick, and I went with carrot.
What, beat me with the carrot?
I know Cory does love being tidy.
I do love being
so
tidy.
probably the reason it's a mess is because he's been rushing around like a headless chicken and not really had time to do it. So,
My guy. So much appreciation.
But if I ever see the van a mess again, I will sack you.
I feel like the Febreze brothers were so fresh right now. Here's a question for the old viewers and the young ones. Do you double over your cables? Personally, I'm a big old double overer. If it's anything smaller than a 4mm, I'd say I draw the line at 4mm. Do you know what? Sometimes if I'm feeling extravagant, I might even double over a 4mm. Depends. But 2.5 and below, if it's a single strand, I will double it over. And it feels amazing. I can't explain it. Something about the process of doing it just makes you feel like a quality professional. The more unnecessary the thing is that you're doing, the more awesome it feels. Like, for example, when you use tags in a board. I've not used it in this one because they're currently in chaos since hitting that speed bump. You don't have to label it the way I like to label it, but guess what? It's massively unnecessary, but that's why it feels so good. Think about it. Surfing, swimming in the sea, snowboarding, playing guitar. Not necessary, really, is it? To your existence, it's not necessary. That's what makes it so darn good. Damn, should I switch your old EV on? No trippy trips.
Let's do the EV charger. I'll just do the functional tests on it. I suppose you need to do an RCD test as well, don't you? We can do that there.
Here's the Instagram electrician.
We are nearly done. Doing a quick R2 test around everywhere just to check that everything that's connected is earth. We're going to have to come back and do some more testing anyway later once he's kind of finished off second fixing everything, but for the moment it's all good.
Calling from Northern Power Grid.
Is that believable? Shut that door so you can't hear us. Oh, I need to hide my number. Settings, phone, show my caller ID.
Unknown caller.
It's weird, I've been getting this one, it's not even an unknown number, it's a random mobile number. But this Chinese voice starts talking to you down the phone. Nathan said he's been getting it as well. You know, I speak a bit of Chinese, but I have no idea what she's talking about.
Unknown numbers sometimes be all sorts. They're like, I've got unknown numbers from like insurance companies and banks and all sorts.
So.
Let me to answer it for you.
That's alright, I'll just get it. Hello, Jordan speaking. You answer it and then there's nobody there, so. Hello?
Oh, hello.
Hello? Oh,
Hello,
you mum.
can you hear me?
What?
That was so you. You're so rubbish at putting on like a northern accent. That was like half northern, half
I don't know what
Indian.
Brummie is. Brummie's
It was like, I recognised it because it was basically but
Basically.
combined with a little bit of Indian.
Oh man, I was going to be Brummy Power Grid and you was going to be in so
I
much
thought
trouble.
it was weird that you sort of like all went off.
You was going to be in so much trouble.
Skulked off. So I'm just doing a couple of last little tests. ZE, so that's external fault loop impedance. That's fine. But we're going to have to come back and basically once all kind of everything's finished, then we'll have to do a load of testing, I think, just to make sure that it's all safe, and then he can apply for his building regulations approval. But it's a nice neat job at least. I think a DIYer would struggle to do a consumer unit that neatly.
So here we have it. Jordan has done a fantastic job. I'm thinking of actually offering him a full-time position here in the company because he's actually really been improving a lot lately with his work. I like his work ethic. This is the Tesla signature charger that's been installed, charging up the car. As you've seen, we've finished the consumer unit inside, and I'm walking around like a kid that needs the loo because I do need the loo. And also, I'm going to be very late for my snowboarding lesson. But we are finished, and what a job it was. So thank you for joining us on the ride, and I'll see you on the next one.